Good evening. My name is Tara Kozeski Mitchell, and I'm the Program Manager for Triage and Outreach Services for Crisis and Counseling. It is my honor tonight to introduce this year's Public Safety Award recipient, Sergeant Vincent Morris of the Augusta Police Department. I'd like to thank Deputy Chief Mills for coming and honoring your gentleman as well. Sergeant Morris is an Army veteran. Thank you for your service. He was hired by the Augusta Police Department in 2001, working patrol in the evening and night shifts before becoming a detective in 2011, when he was promoted to sergeant. At that time, he went back to nights and evenings. This was great for our community and our crisis program, but probably not so much for his wife, Erica, and his two children, Bella and Nick. I asked to introduce Sergeant Morris tonight because this award is so important to our crisis team. Mobile Crisis deals with many excellent first responders every single day, but every so often there's someone who shines. Sergeant Morris, you shine. One of my first experiences with Sergeant Morris was when he came to Crisis and Counseling's Augusta office to visit, to get a visual on the layout of our building in case there was a bomb or hostage threat. So my colleague and I, Hannah, we quickly made sure he knew where our offices were. I thought it was pretty selfless, but it's just an offer in case you want to remember. I then started hearing about this sergeant who kept driving through our parking lot at night to check the safety of my overnight staff. This led to coffee breaks with my mobile crisis staff on the overnight. Sergeant Morris then started bringing over his trainees to introduce them to us and explain who we were and what we did. This type of inclusion, collaboration, and professional camaraderie is priceless to our team, our community, and most importantly, the clients we serve. One staff person recently shared her recent experience with Sergeant Morris. They were in the ER. He had somebody under arrest, and then they started reporting they were suicidal. The crisis worker explained that she'd be right there as soon as she could. She just had to put her stuff down and she'd be right out. Sergeant Morris's response was, "Don't worry or rush. I completely understand there's a process, and I know that you have to do an assessment. You do what you need to do, and don't worry about it. I don't want you to feel rushed, I just want you to do what you need to do." In the world of crisis, which includes chaos, ERs, and police, this level of patience is nearly unheard of. A few months ago, after hearing how great this Sergeant Morris is, I had the opportunity to work with him personally on a case that became clear to me why my staff kept talking him up all the time. I'm going to share this one last story so you get a better understanding of how important Sergeant Morris is to crisis and counseling in our community. Augusta Police had been over to a client's home. It didn't stand out as being somebody that had to come to the ER. But the client's mom called me tearful and crying, which I was sympathetic to, and explained that I really couldn't ask APD to go out one more time and use their resources since they had just been out. But I said, maybe you could call the sergeant and just pass along your concerns and see if he or she understands where you're coming from and see if they're willing to do anything else. A few seconds later, I get a call from Sergeant Morris. Said, "I hear that you don't agree with what I did. And between me and you, kind of scared." I said, "Well, that's not exactly what I said, but okay, if we're going to be candid for a second, that's true. I think that he should go to the ER." And quickly, Sergeant Morris said, to my surprise, "Well, if you come out with us and you can clinically justify why it is this person has to go to the ER, I'd be happy to go back out with you." Needless to say, we were able to adequately meet this consumer's needs by a joint effort between Augusta Police and Crisis and Counseling. Again, in the world of crisis, this type of collaboration is so incredibly important. We value our relationship with local law enforcement because we must work together in order to provide the best care possible to the people of our community who need it most. Sergeant Morris, there are no words to explain how grateful we are for the work you do in our community and for everything you do each day. Thank you for your fearless commitment to serving the people in the Augusta area and meeting the behavioral needs of its residents. Congratulations to you. They love you very much at Triage.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, my kids are expecting me to say something, so I guess I will. First off, I'll tell Tara thank you, and this does mean a lot to me. I too have so much a fear of speaking in public, and this is one of those things of talking in large groups is difficult, although I like to talk to people and tell them what to do. You know, in a group like this, there's way too many witnesses. So seriously, working with Crisis is a pleasure. One of the missions of the Augusta Police Department is to help collaborate and form a partnership with the local businesses. And Crisis makes it very easy to do that. The staff at Crisis truly care. And when you deal with a business or people that truly care, it's easy to work with them, and it makes it a lot better and a smooth transition to help them complete their mission. Thank you.